what's it go? It's a Sunday. The gang's all here.
It's a sunny day, first and foremost. The gang is all here. Let's get the lyrics correct. Let's get them correct.
It's a Sunday today, okay?
I was playing
Okay.
on the
It's the remix.
I was trying to play on the bars. I'm sorry.
Okay, you hitting us with a Timbaland AI remix. I like it. I like it.
Oh my God, you guys, episode 7.
Yes. Episode 7 of the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. You already know the motherfucking vibes. We are so excited because first and foremost, we are going to be doing weekly episodes from this moment out because we really love doing this podcast. We've been enjoying pouring into the community and also pouring into this podcast, so we want to continue to bring some good vibes for you guys weekly. But of course be patient. We still very, very new, very, very small, and we still doing our thing. But outside of that, it's your girl DJ Miss Milan.
Yasmeed.
Jazz is here.
Okay, and this is the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. Shout out to our good sister Kia, who cannot make it for this special episode. She's dealing with some family things right now. So please, our community and our supporters, send Kia all of the love. We definitely appreciate you, girl. We love you, and we will see you again very, 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 very soon. Okay, sometimes you got to take a little step back to really ground yourself and really, be in a moment of life. So we totally understand, if one of us can't always pop up because we have to be in the vortex of what reality says, and life right now is life in. So, we got to allow the emotions to hit that ocean, but the waves will definitely settle. We'll have our good sis back real soon. So that being said, we love you, Kia, and we will definitely show you some support always. But listen, y'all, what's good? I miss y'all. What's popping?
We miss you too, girl. What's going on?
Superstar celebrity.
Oh my God, stop the bullshit. Yo.
Let's talk about it. No, I really do love when y'all take over my timeline. Just saying.
Listen, viral moments, but it's not even viral. It's just intentional at this point. It's just like y'all are going to see the greatness. The what did great Malcolm X said? The revolution will be no, that was Fred Hammond. My bad. The revolution will be televised, and it is televised very much so. So I'm very excited. We just got off stage from the legendary Glastonbury Festival stage. We had a performance on Saturday, headlining one of the main stages at Glastonbury, and it was a phenomenal time, y'all, no lie. And on top of that, fun fact, Jay-Z's anniversary for his very first time and the very first hip-hop act to even grace a headlining stage at Glastonbury also happened the same time we had our own personal little cute headlining stage at Glastonbury. So, the fact that we're very much so in the alignment of greatness, it feels really, really good. We did a whole Doechii school of hip hop, giving our love and our respect to the very thing and culture that, number one, I know we say we come from, but honestly, it comes from us. You know what I'm saying? It's in us already. So for us to just spread that in the universe and the world the way that we're doing it, upholding the very much so standard, but also creating new standards, I would honestly say, was very monumental. We hit all of the elements of hip hop, from scratching to freestyling to even the elements, how hip hop is infused in different genres, your house music, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So for us, it was definitely a lesson. We paid ode to, some hip hop legends within our, set, and it was phenomenal. We had the legendary Idris Elba introduced us to start it off, which was just phenomenal. First of all, I was backstage and I was like, who the hell is this tall black man with the shades and this damn red jumpsuit on? I didn't know what was going on. I was like, security, there's a weird man backstage here. But at the same time, they told us that it was Idris. He was going to be introducing us. So I was like, oh, okay. And the man is fine. So it was really good to have Idris introduce us and us have a phenomenal performance. Like when I say the freaking the sea of people out there was thick, honey. It was thicker than me. All right, it was super. Now, it was definitely, it was definitely phenomenal to see people outside of America gather to see us perform and then sing Doechii's lyrics word for word, especially the Nile is a river moment. It was like everyone went crazy. And I also had a moment where, she introduces me during Boiled Peanuts, the song that you guys were singing earlier. It's a sunny day, and that moment hearing and seeing the playback of, people actually screaming for my name as well made me feel so good. And the part that I play in hip hop as the DJ, because, we all know hip hop did start very much so from the DJ. So I'm very proud of my sis Doechii for always upholding the essence of hip hop and also including me and giving me my own shine, because rightfully so, as a Black woman DJ, rightfully so. So that's my little recap on my personal weekend. I'm still out here literally right now in London. It is 1:38 a.m. as we are recording this podcast with my sisters. So I definitely am super excited. And just life is just happening, y'all. I'm just really excited. I'm happy for me. I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for the pod. Like everything's just happening. So that's my personal little homegirl check-in. What about y'all? What y'all got going on?
I love that you like live in the moment. Like, I feel like sometimes we're always like caught up on like chasing like the next moment or wondering like what's next. But like one of my favorite things about like y'all experience is that y'all both really seem to just like live in it and soak it up. I also thought the scene where the boombox opens and you're there, if it can't get any more hip hop than that.
Right.
I
Yes.
thought that
Oh my
shit was
God.
so like the hip hop, like the child of hip hop in me was like jumping like up and down. And I know we talk a lot about like celebrating ourselves and celebrating our own wins, but anybody that like genuinely like knows me, has seen me in action, I genuinely like get joy from celebrating my friends, my community, my loved ones. And like I'm just so proud of you. I'm proud of all of us, but like that was a monumental like moment. And
It
I love that
was.
she like always is very intentional about incorporating you in those moments because she doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's really inspiring for other people who are a part of this, world we call hip hop too, to know like, what I bring to the table is valuable. I know we were talking about on the last podcast how like now there's a best album cover, category for like Grammys now, like photographers. And that makes me think about like graffiti and that art of DJing,
Right.
a little bit like that. I just think like we can't like lose sight of these elements in this world of AI. Like we just can't lose these recipes. So
And I
I'm
feel like to
excited.
some degree, you guys are also resetting the stage, right? Like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing in real time what hip hop should look like again. And I think whether you guys realize it or not, you are re-inspiring a new generation of artists and DJs to center the DJ in the experience like it was supposed to be. And like we need to get back to the DJ being so like integral in breaking music and being part of the experiences. It's like, and that's not to say that the artist isn't important, but it's just the DJ is just as important in hip hop. Like it's literally what hip hop was built on.
Right.
So I like just like that. I really love seeing that moment. I love how every single show it's like we have a special guest. Like you're the special guest too. and the way the crowd goes crazy for you is just like
Yes.
you wouldn't think you were the artist as well. And it's so dope to see because man, we just not seeing that no more.
Right. No, I agree. I totally agree. And that's why I always give her props for, sharing the stage with me and sharing the light with me. Cause I'm a light myself. I look at myself as an artist as well. Cause I think I've not kind of, I have to, I'm learning to, it's okay to, be proud of what it is that you do. And it's okay to talk reality. Imposter syndrome will have you faking yourself. Like, oh no, I'm not. No, I am. I am a star. I am a
Period.
superstar. I am more than just a DJ. That's the title, but the position that I play is very much so also artist, because I am, rapping the lyrics with her and backing her up as a MC too. I'm doing the choreo if there's moves that I could also hit too. So, and her as just a performer, her breath control, the way how she commands the stage, going in between singing and rapping to then being so charismatic and performing, you know what I'm saying? Like putting on an actual show. Like, to be completely real, I feel like she is the newest rap Beyonce, and of course we
Mm.
always put Beyonce at such a high regard, but the reason is because of everything she embodies as a artist, performer, entertainer. And I believe very, very much so that, of course, with the years that we are going to continue to put in, but already we've been building that foundation since the very first show that we've ever had. Like, we've always came out the gate, you know what I'm saying, trying to give our very, very best. So for me personally, I'm just proud of the growth, and that entire show literally showed the elevation of us, and she's very, very intentional about making sure that I personally get, my flowers and my just due. And I think that's important when it comes to that dynamic of an artist and their DJ. You see it with, Lotto and her DJ, and of course, Nicki Minaj and DJ Booth, and your famous Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jess, of course, your Salt and Peppers and your Spinderellas, things of that nature. For me personally, I love that we fall in that category, but we also are standing very much so out. I seen somebody comment and said that we basically were ripping off Salt and Pepper, and it was so hilarious to me because I'm like, well, I think we should give ourselves a round of applause, because the fact that you even thought to go to that is exactly the motherfucking point.
Exactly.
Mm.
So history, teaching y'all niggas some motherfucking history. So I
And
love
I
it.
think
I
that's
love
why
this
I think
shit.
y'all are so aligned though, because like, and you calling her, she's like the rap Beyonce. Like I would consider you like the DJ Beyonce, because it's like
Right.
you are performing just as much as she is. And I think every time I see a video clip of y'all performing, I'm always like so impressed. Like I just have to step away as the friend and just be in awe of you, because
Right.
I don't think people like the type of charisma it takes to perform. Like you're not just DJing, like you're also performing.
Yeah.
And I feel like
It's a
people
lot.
don't, it takes a lot. No, it takes a lot. So it's like, I just feel like y'all, there could not have been a better matchup with y'all. And I am so grateful that you have been able to connect with her to elevate each other's careers. Cause I couldn't see you doing this with any other artists in the way that you're doing it with her.
Facts. Facts. That's facts. And you said three things that go into like my check-in too that really resonate with my check-in for this week, because you said two, three things. More than a DJ, and being intentional versus being viral, and just knowing like the elements. And it made me think of,
God damn, there's some gems and some bars I dropped. I ain't gonna hold you. Go ahead.
no, you did, because it made me think about something I even wanted to bring to the table for my check-in. One, it really reminds me of that GOAT mentality, like LeBron, like, how LeBron started the more than athlete thing, like when they was coming at him for
Mm-hmm.
being vocal about a lot of stuff. I think also too, one of the things that I'm trying to polish up, or I guess you could say freshen up about, is like my leadership skills. We just came off of like Juneteenth week. Juneteenth, I don't know about y'all, my Juneteenth week was very, very fun. Got to go out, and it really inspired me to really be more, just more intentional about emphasizing humility within community. Because I feel like we talk about community a lot, but it really is, like humility that like has to be there, and stepping outside yourself, and even bringing that to, the boardroom and a lot of these corporate rooms and spaces. A lot of you, if you don't know, like I've spent a lot of time in my career being someone that is advocating for others in these rooms, whether if it's being a senior manager, director, etc. And I went through something this week where, I basically was emphasizing like, no, this person is more than that. You don't just put them in one particular box. And I think it's very important for us to advocate for creators, talent that, can be seen as one thing, but we know they are more. I think it's like revolutionary when we do continue to do that, especially in these spaces where, there can be fear, intimidation, whatever. But I went through experience this week, full transparency, where I was literally like, no, it's more than this. I need you to see it outside of this. And it was a little challenging, like, for me. I feel like sometimes too, we don't talk about I guess you can say, the anxieties that go into these presentations when we are doing these big, things in these like corporate rooms. So, yeah, this week was very, very eye opening in terms of just trying to stay confident in my voice when I am in these rooms. I feel like sometimes, a lot of people see me as, bubbly and out there and friendly, but I'm a whole different beast at work. Like, so it's like I have to
I
pivot.
love that about you, though.
I have to like pivot though, and this week was a week for me where I was kind of, proud of my pivot. And I'm just trying to get more confident in my boardroom voice, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my check-in for this week. But I love that you recognize and know that like you are more than a DJ, because we do too, girl. We do too.
And I think is that just as Black women in the spaces that we are in, it is important for us to always feel like we don't have to be boxed in. I think society always wants us to be one thing, and we have to give ourselves the personal permission to be all things. So for me, I've been learning that not to lean on what it is that I do, but more so let who I am branch out into the things that I do, if that makes sense. So I've been really, a lot of self-discovery and just saying, hey, I am more than just a DJ. Is what I do, but not who I am. And there's so many different layers to myself. And I'm also, in the process of exploring those. And I love that you mentioned, even just in corporate, how you have this like, type of guard dog, pit bull in a skirt kind of mentality, especially as a woman, specifically as a Black woman, in order to get shit done. But it gets done at the end of the day. So
Yes, very much. What's that whole saying? I'll show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Like this, I just went through that the week for my homegirl check-in. Like I had to move through rooms full of vultures. And it's interesting because once you kind of read the room and peep what the room is, you're like, oh, okay, I can move
got
accordingly.
you. Right. No, I feel that.
Oh.
I guess for my week, it's kind of interesting. Every time we speak, I feel like we end up being so much more aligned than we even realize. Like a lot of stuff y'all were saying, I feel like has been what defined my last 2 weeks. Like I did a panel for the mayor's office last week.
Hey, you got a certificate. Hello.
And like in that experience, it was like I was so eye-opening for me because anyone who knows me knows that I've struggled with public appearances as far as like doing public speaking and panels and things of the sort, because I have really bad social anxiety in those kind of settings. Like I don't like being the center of attention. So it's sometimes can become,
I feel that.
It's just hard for me to people just staring at me and I got to answer a question. Like I hate that.
But you're very good at it though.
Oh my God. That's what I'm learning that I am. And I think I think I'm getting better and better. And I think what my week really consisted of was me having to recognize that what I'm thinking I'm going through is not actually reality. And it's me not giving myself credit like I always do. Like I'm always just not giving myself enough credit. Just so to give y'all context, I was speaking to my therapist and at the time I had done a previous panel for the company, for Pandora the week before the mayor's panel. And that panel also did well. However, that week I was going through something personal and I just kind of like chalked it up to, well, I think I did the panel super well because I just disassociated. So I didn't even have time to just be anxious and nervous because I wasn't thinking about it. I just was disassociating. And my therapist was like, I don't think you're disassociating. I think you're getting more confident. So I was like, well, then we'll see next week because I'm good now. And then if I'm not disassociating, then I'm probably going to suck on this panel. And that wasn't what happened. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I am just getting more confident. And I'll say all this to say, like, what I'm recognizing is over the last 10 or so years of having been in the industry, I think that one, I struggle with a lot of imposter syndrome because I never had an industry role until Pandora. but I always had like, I don't know, like I feel like I've always done the work enough to know what I'm talking about and belong in these spaces. And I feel like another thing I had to struggle with a lot was kind of what I was talking about is essentially just accepting all the different things that I actually am and not putting myself in a box all the time. And recognizing like the reason why you should be confident is because of all the things that you are and all the things that you've done and all the things that you've poured into this community. Like people don't show you love like that for no reason. Like that's not how this happens. And I had saw this video today, which it's so ironic the way things kind of just like line up in your life as far as like you see certain things when you need to see them. But I saw this video clip, this girl talking about authenticity and it being an era right now for people who have always been like the black sheep, or just like the person who was always too honest or too forthcoming with the elephant in the room and kind of got pushed to the sideline because of it, which I do feel like happened to me a lot of my career. And because of the way the world is kind of shaping out right now, essentially the video was talking about how authenticity in this new timeline is going to be your currency. And I really believe that. And I feel like
it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the people who have been very true are really starting to get their fucking flowers right now. And I think that is what's going to define the next phase of the music industry in particular, as well as the world, because like we just need some real shit. Like the world is in shambles right now. And I feel like a lot of people are getting tired of the smoke and mirrors. So say all that to say, like this week has been a very like rude but hopeful awakening for me, because I feel like this quality of mine that I've always resented myself about, because I always feel like I was too honest or too forthcoming with certain information, that was just always me. But I always understood what that meant for my career. It meant rejection for me. Like it meant not getting all the roles that I wanted because they don't know what to do with me in certain spaces.
Right.
But I feel like I'm happy about that now. So that was my week.
I love that.
Yes.
No, I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's the mentality how I feel like everyone has to go into everything. It's like, if you reject me, it's redirection at the end of the day. And the reason why you're rejecting me is because you're probably not fully equipped to even have the capacity to handle me, which I, as a person who's very big in personality, very bright in my being, I walk in a room and my energy is going to consume the room in the greatest of ways. It can be intimidating to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of situations, a lot of settings and environments, but you can't let that creep into you and make it seem like there's something wrong with you if people don't know how to take it. Because some people just don't know how to, honestly, some people don't know. Some people are allergic to the sun. Let's just say that.
No, that is true. That is true. And it's something that you said it because everything you're saying, like we can apply that to so many areas of life. Like I know we talk about like relationships, family relationships, like dating, like there's so many different things that can go into. And I just really, really resonate with that. So shout out to y'all.
Shout out to us.
This shit was for us. This shit was for us. Shout out to Solo. Okay. Man, I love a good homegirl check in. And you know what's so funny? I love that people honestly like our supporters so far. They love that we do that too. They be like, oh, I love when y'all do y'all little check in. Made me feel like, you know, I'm right in the condo with y'all. We having a little smoke session, you know? Like, hey, but anyways, let's get into some of these recent topics that has been going on. I mean, to be completely real with y'all, it's been a whole lot. I don't even know where to motherfucking start. I don't even know where we should start.
Man, should we start with, honestly, because I want to feel like it happened, I think, at the top of the week, the Brandy and Monica are going on tour.
Yes, I did see that. From what's the saying? From idols to rivals, but now best friends again.
Oh my God, that literally just made me think about the night they had. Do y'all remember what Twitter?
The verses?
That was the most awkward shit I ever seen. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh my God. I'll never forget tweeting like, this is like when an art major versus like a fashion first major, and that shit went viral. It was crazy. But I will say it has been so sweet watching them go on press runs together for like it's just a very sweet experience, I guess, to see them at this time in their lives where they are able to really just exist. Like it's like let's live it. The people wanted it. Let's give it to them. We're taking Kelly Rowland and Mooney Long on the right.
Money Long.
Money Long, yeah. You better get her name right because she hate when people fuck her name up.
Oh, Kellis, I'm sorry.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
sing us to death. Please, nobody knows your name like I do. Go ahead.
But no, I'm excited. What y'all looking forward to from this tour? Any moments, any songs y'all want to see performed? Like,
I'm just personally happy that legends are still running up and being the legends that they are. I mean, despite Monica's dating life, which is not, involved in the music, we call her Gunica for a reason. I think this will be a phenomenal tour, especially for those 90s babies who grew up with the real essence of R&B, having a voice like your Monicas, like your Brandies, and then having them both on tour together. I think it's just a beautiful thing to see. I love that they are taking the moment to actually do this because everybody was kind of like wanting. First of all, shout out to Ray J. Low key, this was Ray J's biggest dream to ever like have both of them. I know he's probably salty because Brandy don't fuck with her brother like that. But I know since the verses, like people have been always saying that they kind of wanted to see Brandy and Monica, do like a duo co-headlining because there's nobody who's opening for anybody. Co-headlining tour. So I think it's going to be really good. I heard that some dates are already sold out. Like people already started buying tickets, et cetera, et cetera. It's already went out. So like I said, there's always going to be a market for legacy acts because there is something about that era of music that cannot be duplicated. So people are going to go back to get that injection of nostalgia from the very people who created it. So I think it's going to do very, very well.
How do y'all feel about? Oh, my bad, sis.
No, I was saying it's interesting you say that. Kind of changed the topic a little tiny bit, but we can get back to this. But it's so interesting because I went to Summer Jam and a lot of the headlining acts were from that era. It was more so hip hop though. And the crowd reaction was so trash. And it's just like, it just goes to show like how important curation is still in this space. Like you have to know the target audience because I feel like if that show happened and was kind of just marketed towards a different audience and it wasn't necessarily Summer Jam, I think that Ja Rule and Jim Jones shit would have went off because I thought it was fire. That shit was fucking fire.
And it was them headlining.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, this is all. Well, no, I don't know if they were headlining, but I know they were like, they had some of the longest sets, and I think Meek was the closer, and I think he was like the big headliner. But I would say right before Meek, they performed. I want to say there was somebody right after that. I left though. But I just expected a lot more of a crowd reaction from everything because of how big the songs were, and it's just like you almost forget how many hits Ja Rule had. Until he performs all of them, and he sounded exactly like he did in the 2000s. He looked exactly like he did everything just sounded and looked good. And then he brought out like a lot of his features from that time that we haven't seen in years, and it was just like crowd go silent. Like, okay, this is weird.
I will say the Summer Jam. You made a great point though, because Summer Jam audiences have always been a little off.
Yeah,
they never get the plot, in my opinion.
And I was so confused because, so I had posted all the different performances from the Ja Rule and the Jim Jones shit, and they all went viral. And in the comments, it's just like, wrong crowd, wrong crowd, wrong crowd. And it's just like, y'all are acting like this crowd is so young. But if you were there, you would have known that the crowd actually was a very even balance of old heads and younger crowd. And it was just like the entire show, start to finish, regardless of who the artist was, like you got a younger artist or an older artist, they just was dead the whole night. So it
was
was
it
just
for
like,
all of the acts?
yes. I was like, wow. Like literally, I forgot who it was, but it was a pretty big name asking for everyone to put their lights up, and nobody, it was like a sparse. And I'm just like, oh, this crowd is Jesus Christ.
I see somebody tweet and said, I read that Ja Rule saved Hot 97 Summer Jam
He
last week.
did.
I heard Jim Jones brought out Meek Mill and Mama Jones was the only one turning up during his set. We don't need any further discussion. Discuss Nas versus Jim Jones. Oh shit.
But that's
Nah,
just it.
that
Like,
is
I
funny.
agree for that setting, but I feel like if we brought Jim Jones to a setting that was for him, the niggas would have went up for that shit because he was performing hits. And it was just like, the commentary I'm seeing around it is like, yeah, y'all niggas just wasn't there. Like, I'm not even about to do some show.
Because they had A Boogie, Gunna, Glorilla, Money Long, Asake, Area Star, Ja Rule and Friends for the tribute to Irv Gotti, Cash Doll, Bobby Condas and Jabba. They're forever going to be on the Summer Jam lineup, like forever. Masika, Jim Jones and Friends, Cash Cobain, the Young Kids 41, Kyle Rich, Jen Carter, and Tata. Those were the performers for last week's Summer Jam.
See, like Cash Cobain, I was expecting like crowd goes wild, and it was just like crickets. Like, okay.
Yeah, but I was wondering if they went crazy for Masika too, because that song.
They did. That was the person. So they announced him twice. That's how dead the audience was.
Wow.
Right. I was like, what the fuck? Where am I at?
Like my daddy even know in his Kingston hut. He even know that is one of the hottest songs out.
They announced him twice. And the second time, it's like, oh, put your lighters up for Masika. Nobody. It was like low sprinkle. I was like, wow, this is like Masika.
So my thing is like, is it more the artist or is it the crowd? Because I kind of am shifting the blame towards the crowd a little bit. Because I feel like we're such in an era where I don't know if people are going out waiting for a moment to happen. Like, it's the weirdest kind of thing that I've been realizing with people going out. It's like you have to find like your selective people that don't mind not being on their motherfucking phones, dancing, having an actual good time. Like, we're such in a society where it's like niggas are it's hard to like get people to have fun even if they're in the most funnest type of environments. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy.
And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that because I feel like that's why I'm trying to like reiterate the point that it wasn't an older crowd or a younger crowd. It literally was a balance of both, and it was dry the whole time. Like, I just don't feel like people were there to have fun. To your
Could it
point.
be that Hot 97 Summer Jam is losing a little bit of its lackluster? I mean, you have been doing it for years upon years. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. But I mean, because, you know, oversaturation is a thing, you know, but it is a annual festival that does happen yearly. I really don't know. I'm going to put more so blame on the people that do go out and spend their money and take the time to, you know, be outside, that don't want to necessarily have fun, which is weird to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because I would say it's the artists if the performances weren't good, but like the performances were stellar from start to finish. So I really do think like I don't know what else they can give you. They gave you a great show.
Yeah.
So like if that's not gonna rile y'all up, then like go home.
No, for real. Like I feel like the Summer Jam, like I feel like that audience be expecting like Meek Mill to fly out of a helicopter and
it's a festival. It's only but so much people can do with the time slot that they're given, first and foremost. Like, even when I did Hot 97 Summer Jam once, and I've done the Power 105 one. They have their own, like, you know, their radio festival. I did that twice. And it's basically the same concept. It's a radio festival. Like, you do it because you have to support the radio that supports you. You know what I'm saying? But is mainly also for the community, like, you know,
Yeah.
is it's a form of quote unquote giving back to the community building type shit or whatever. But I don't know, I just think over the years people just are having less and less fun. They're just going out just to be in it. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm going to have fun. I'm just really going to be in it to make sure I'm a part of this thing versus I want to have fun in
Right.
this thing. So it's a weird time. It's really a weird time.
And to be honest, I feel like that's literally the going out scene. And I don't even think that's just concerts. And I think that's part of the reason why you do have to be a little bit particular about what events you're going to if you're looking to have fun, because a lot of them is, you'll notice, it's just people standing around on their phones.
Yeah. And then saying, oh, it was quote unquote lit because how do you know? You was in your phone the whole time. Like the fuck? Or it was whack. Like, how do you know? You was on your phone. You like
You
I remember
contributed to the whackness.
right. Like it was a controversy with an event. What was it? The recent event, Burgers and Bottles, I believe it's called. Shout out to those guys over there. They had booked me for it, but I could every time they book me, I'm always like booked to do something else. I was supposed to do like the last two. But the Burgers and Bottle crew, they had their event in I think Mount Vernon or something like that. A little bit up a little ways upstate or whatever. I don't know. Is Mount Vernon upstate? I'll be forgetting. Anyways, it was not necessarily like, you know, city, Brooklyn, Manhattan, you know, even Queens type shit. It was more so like a little bit out there because of the capacity of where they were. And I seen the conversation about how some girl literally got there as soon as it opened up, made a whole TikTok about it as she was the first person there, and then decided to call the event whack because she was like, there's nobody here, they're this. And it's like, people were like, girl, you literally just came to the event. And I think there's been like a whole surge of like, now we used to have like, you know, little Yelp reviews on restaurants and food. Now they're doing Yelp reviews for like actual events. Like you go to the event and now you're like, hey, I was here at this event and this is what happened type shit. So yeah, I don't know I'm going to say, as I've been saying, and I'm going to have to agree with my grandmama, is them damn phones.
Oh,
It's
it
them
definitely is.
damn phones.
Yeah.
It's
I
these
feel like
damn
too, people are coming to events as well a little bit like, and I hate to use it because I really do dislike what our generation, millennials in particular, when we get generalized this, like that word entitled, but there is
Mhm.
like a sense of entitlement that is even coming with like just the entry and like treating security with respect and things like that. Like people just these days just lack a sense of compassion. I feel like when it comes to even wanting to be a part of the events that they say they want to be a part of, it's like it's kind of what you were saying earlier. It's like, are you here for to be intentional or are you looking for a viral moment? Like,
Right.
which one is it? But yeah, there's some rudeness in the water too that I've noticed. I'm just like,
Rudeness in the water is crazy.
like, come on, y'all.
Like, just stay home if you're gonna be a miserable bitch. Fuck.
Yeah, like,
Damn, we don't want you stinking up the air. God damn. God damn.
Yeah, the sad
yeah.
part is though, I think because social media has become so prevalent and it's very commonly known that the stuff that goes viral is always the negative shit. I feel like a lot of people subconsciously are looking for the negative shit rather than just enjoying themselves. Like I hate to say it, but I just feel like that's where we are now as a society.
Yes. Like I literally heard somebody say, like, at this last event when I was, well, this wouldn't have even happened if so and so was here. And I'm like, how do you know that though? Like, so you went into it with a preconceived notion of expecting a certain outcome. Like, stay home.
Right, right. I wasn't expecting to have this much fun. So what the fuck was you expecting? What did you come out here for? Because I'm coming out expecting to have fun. Like you was expecting for some drama. And that's like you said, that's the unfortunate cycle of where we are now, where the negative gets promoted above the positive. Reason why the fucking story times on TikTok go so viral, and the blue check crew on Twitter who always got something negative to say for engagements to get $8 of a paycheck from Elon. Like
and that's
it's
actually the perfect
crazy.
segue into wrapping up that Brandy topic, because what happens from that Brandy and Monica topic is this whole conversation about Kelly being an opener.
Yes,
That
yes.
is, it got so bad that she had to post a video telling people to just chill out.
Yes. Which was first of all, you stupid fucks. Kelly the motherfucking Rowland, the one that Beyonce uses for secret background vocals. Let's clock. Let's
Right,
clock. Let's clock it. Okay? You think she's opening up for Brandy and Monica? Them bitches are peers.
literally,
Okay?
it's special guest.
It's a special guest worth. And I seen somebody say, the problem is people really don't understand how things work, but people assume based off their feelings and assume that it's fact because of how they feel behind things. And just because you feel like she's opening doesn't mean she's opening, because somebody even said it's even the wording special guest, the print size. There was like, if you really understood that print size motherfucking matters when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, those little bills and promotions, like that shit matters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the little details and things that people don't quite understand, which I can see, you're not in that world, you're the general public looking in. So I don't expect but much, but I've always been taught that if I don't know something, I shut the fuck up until I find out. You know what I'm saying? So and it's really disheartening that people like her even have to come out to even say shit to people, because let's be honest, Kelly Rowland is very much so an icon on the same level as Beyonce, if we're gonna be completely honest here. Just because she's not performing as much as Beyonce or putting out music doesn't mean she's not on that level. She started off with Destiny's Child. So we're not gonna act like Kelly Rowland isn't who she says she is as well. But it's sad that even her and her stature, she has to come out and tell stupid ass people, like, just buy the ticket and enjoy the fucking show. Like, why y'all trying to make everything is not a think piece? Y'all are thinking, y'all making think pieces with no thoughts.
Literally. And that's what upset me the most about it, is when she spoke up. Because it's like, y'all done got fucking Kelly Rowland, the one who actually had her first solo Grammy before Beyonce. Let's put that out there.
Clock the tea.
Kelly had her first solo Grammy before B. Like, the fact that she had to even come out and say something, that is what made my neck twist. Like, what? But I think it's also, to wrap this up, I think it's also a bigger point of what we're seeing, like the negative Nancy's, like they're everywhere. They're outside, they're online. And I feel like more brands and or companies are starting to call it out, because even Love Island recently had to make a post about like, yo, we understand y'all love this show, but basically chill out. Like, they still human beings. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, it's the phones. These phones make people feel invisible, that they can just say whatever. And, we just got all these keyboard boxers.
Keyboard boxers is crazy. I love that. Speaking of keyboard boxers, I just want to take a moment to talk about the fact that 50 Cent is one of those keyboard boxers. And I think it's time for us to have a real conversation at the demise and the negativity that 50 Cent upholds. He's really not for us.
I don't even know what he has on whoever that he can just continue on to carry on like this, and there's no dirt, like nothing.
No, it's not even dirt. It's just a fake ass God complex.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
And he about to be insufferable this season because he a Cancer, and it's Cancer season.
And it's just crazy, because, and the reason why I bring him up is because I seen the post about him basically offering the newest mayor runner, or what was he now? What's his stature?
He won the primary for NYC mayor.
Yes, Zohran Madani. Excuse me, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but forgive me if I'm not, but we will get it right. Yeah, so we all know that Zoran is on a major, amazing campaign so far for the mayor of New York City. He already won the primary, which is a great, I believe, I'm not really a politic girl, it's not my lane, but I will believe that is a great thing considering the fact that we've had some really treacherous mayors in our city. I mean, look at the one that we have now with the one earring smoking hookah and
The
Dykeman.
one earring is hilarious.
Like, it's the craziest shit that's our fucking mayor, Loki, and then Kumo trying to get back in like the field with his nasty ass allegations, these nasty niggas. I just think that, even 50 Cent even offering Zoran what he said over like 200K plus. I don't know the exact amount, but he offered him 200K plus to drop out of the race, basically. And I just thought that was so negative considering that
Oh.
Zoran's campaign is about unity and really trying to put community back together in the way that he's trying. He even showed up. I forgot what event it was. I saw the homie of mine, Young Prince. He posted a video of him at some concert and Zoran was there, and he shouted out the Haitians, and which was something that the mayors don't necessarily do in the regards of their, let's call it what it is. It's a press run. You know what I'm saying? You're on a press run to get the people's vote. So him actually being in the inner cities, in the hoods, touching the people, seeing the people, being some of a representation of an immigrant as well, knowing all of the shit that we got going on with immigration in this fuck ass government that we got going on. I think he is showing a different light of hope that personally, I'm gonna be real, we really haven't seen, which I've seen people say, but we really haven't seen since the Obama administration, where we
Mhm.
were so happy to actually like want to vote for somebody who feels like they're going to create change. Now, I'll be very honest, I don't want to come off pessimistic, but when it comes to politics, I always believe that we're always picking the lesser of evils. There's always something a little, and I don't want to put that on this new cat that's coming in trying to make a change. I will hope he's leading with integrity, but we all know, like, sometimes people get compromised. I just hope he stays within that realm of integrity by any means necessary. But other than that, I think so far, I'm still learning my own politics and, trying to be the adult, because, we are the new adults. We have to do our part, y'all. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing and making the right moves, because the future is not just about me, it's about the ones that's after me as well. And I think that's a problem with a lot of our older generation and some of the new generation. They forget, like, when you're dead and gone, your kids and your grandkids, they still have to live on. And people are forgetting that. And I even seen a viral clip of Don Lemon going around asking the older generation, unfortunately the older Black generation, why they still want to continue to vote for Eric Adams. And they're very stuck in a space of comfortability and not wanting exact change. And we need motherfucking change. We need change, and we need it now. So I'm happy that he's running. I'm happy that he got the city, on fire with, promises. We would love to see them come into fruition, but so far his campaign has been pretty smooth and pretty dope to see. And I definitely want to continue to support somebody in that realm with that mindset, trying to do for the people, because we forgot. And I will say that the government has convinced us that they forgot their roles, that they are for us. They work for us. The police department, you all work for us. You sign an oath to uphold for the people. The Constitution is for the people, and we need to get back to it being for the people. We are the majority. They are the minorities at the end of the day. So I like his campaign, and that's all I got for that.
I'm here for it. I love that you use that word hope too, because I feel like that was Obama's main like campaign like note, like when he ran back in '08. It's like we genuinely believed it. And I'm hoping that it's felt and resonated here with everybody else. But
Mm-hmm.
speaking
Amen.
of,
Amen. What you said?
I was just saying, speaking of people and crowds and stuff, do we want to get into some of this scary stuff that freaks me out? Sorry.
What? What, white people?
No.
No.
Shout out to our allies, the real allies.
Shout out to our allies.
I feel like here with this group, my sisters, we only acknowledge one AI, but there's another AI out there that has been freaking hurricane through the world.
Katrina. No. Yes. Let's get into the topic that we all feel like is very important to discuss for this podcast. AI versus the industry. Listen. Like you said, like they say, we only acknowledge this. What's the rap lyrics? Only Wallace we acknowledge is Christopher, right? Am I saying it backwards? I feel like I'm saying it backwards. Only Wallace we acknowledge. Yeah, something like that.
Is what, I don't know.
There we go. Something like that. Shout out to you, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Right. And only AI we acknowledge has about 6 cornrows in his motherfucking head. All right. And still look good as shit.
Okay, it's so funny because I was going to say that.
That's the only one. That's the only one we care about. Okay. So fuck all that shit. But no, there has been a big conversation on the internets about the whole AI versus the industry. We've had some of our personal legends speak out in support of it, unfortunately. And some have also spoke out against it, like Juicy J. Shout out to Juicy J for always being a real nigga. But yeah, let's talk about it, man, because this shit has really been taking the internet by storm recently, with just even Timbaland being, I would say, the face. We can just call him the face of it at this point in time. Controversy with Timbaland has been like, he's been doing these live streams, looking for artists and letting them play their music. And then I remember one time there was a thing where he had put out about artists submitting their music for something. I forgot the details of it, but it's one of those things where, they put out a call for artists to submit their music, and we don't know exactly what happens with the music until now he comes out promoting this whole AI artist. And Gunna even had an interview where he was asked about AI and how he's like, if you can't beat them, join them, and he wants to sign his own AI artist. We had that situation, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, where they actually signed an AI artist, and it was a big fucking deal, and the internet was in an uproar because it was like, you guys signed $1 million deal for a fucking AI that literally you could have used that for an actual artist or the artist of the industry that you don't even pay. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a big discussion. I think that it's something that we should definitely cover. How you guys feel about AI in general, especially in the music industry? Because let's be honest, AI is not only just the music, but AI is used in different sectors of the world. And just my personal opinion on it, like, AI isn't always bad. It's the people that use it that make it bad, if that makes sense. Just like technology is never bad. People behind it that use it that make it bad. We can always use these things for the advancement, not the displacement. And I think that's what AI in the music industry is doing, is just displacing real artistry.
And I love that that's how you kind of like close that, because that's how I feel about it. I personally feel like, yes, there's different ways that AI can be useful, such as like on the strategy tip and maybe like making processes efficient, right? Like that makes sense to me. Or even like we've been using AI in the DSP space to create algorithm. Like the algorithm is AI, like, and that helps just like for artist discovery. So we need it for that. But when we start talking about AI displacing artists and AI replacing creativity, I have a problem with that, because then we start talking about the integrity of music, and that isn't integrity in music. You know what I'm saying? Like, music is a reflection of life and art, and AI is not life. That is not a life force. So it's like, for us to be trying to pivot to that being the representation of music and life, it's like, where are we going, guys? And then the other thing too, like just on a business and legal tip, we cannot source where AI is getting their information from so that people are even properly credited for whatever the AI is using.
Exactly.
So it's like, how are we even accounting for that? It's
Yeah.
like, so there's like so many different layers to how it lacks integrity and how artists are being displaced. And it's just like, nobody is creating stipulations around this stuff. And you can't, that's the problem, which is why it's like, I can't support it, because you literally you can't create stipulations around shit like that. Cause how?
I think for
And it's so
myself,
new.
yeah, it not only it's new, it's new, but it's also like the way it's starting to seep into like so many different like verticals of life, like really freaks me out. And I'm trying to get to a place where it doesn't like freak me out to the point where I'm so like anti AI. Because right now I'm very anti AI, but looking at it from like a entertainment standpoint in general, like overall, like being in rooms, meetings, conversations, and literally hearing people say like, "Oh, just use ChatGPT," or "Oh, are you gonna go to the AI meeting?" And I'm just like, "What the fuck? Like, this is where we at? Like, this is." I'm like, "This is y'all are making me feel like the eyeball out or the crazy one because." I'm not, and it's not that I think I'm better or anything like that. It's just like, it literally freaks me out. It's like, who's to say that that is intelligence? I will say, after a presentation I did go through, um, about AI, the tools, how it can help. I definitely understand how it can be helpful in certain aspects, like in terms of like organization, and I think like operations and just like streamlining things. Like I see where it can be helpful in that aspect, but literally just using Chat GPT to create, execute, like ideate, that's insane to me. Like, and I think I had to kind of get an eye opener like the past several weeks to realize, like, no, this is really a part of our world. Like, these organizations are at this point trying to even force AI within our work ethic and structure. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. I hope I'm making sense, but
No,
it,
you are.
it's very interesting to me to be in some of these spaces and to hear somebody say like, "Oh, ChatGPT ain't helped me today." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm the only one that's actually using my actual brain.
I
Like,
love that you said that, because that's what I was about to say. I feel like my issue with it as well is it's very anti-intellectual. And we talking about how it's the phones and all of these things. And it's like, yeah, like it's brain rot, literally. Like we are not, if you're going to lean on AI so much, you're not using your brain. And then when you don't use that muscle, like you lose
You're
it.
gonna lose it.
yeah,
And y'all
Yeah.
been losing y'all motherfucking mind sense forever. So you might as well start resting and utilizing that little noggin. You got but 2 cells left, brothers and sisters. Please,
but I think
please.
that's what scared me though. You just said it, and this is my first time saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Wow, I just had a breakthrough. Oh my
Because
god.
it's like y'all are very comfortable with losing your brain cells. Like, wow.
Yes, yes. And then when you start to lose, in my personal opinion, when you start to lose the thought process, you also start to lose logic. And then you start to just believe your feelings. And as I said earlier, we're I believe in a space where people, because there's a lack of intelligence running around, which is a bigger reason why AI is such a big tool, because people are not using their brain, so they're utilizing the artificial intelligence versus the actual intelligence. And then because they have the lack of intelligence, the lack of comprehension, the lack of understanding, you then have people who are ruled by their feelings and emotions and call those facts. It's like, because I feel this way about something doesn't make it a fact. And this is the reason why the government has been using feelings as a campaign versus facts. People have been telling you how to feel versus what actually is happening in the world. And trickling into music, it's like AI is going to tell you how to feel versus how you should feel. Like, you don't really feel sad. You don't really feel mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it is certain things in life, unfortunately, well, no, fortunately, let me say, that cannot be duplicated, like human emotion, human interaction, human experience. I have to be hurt to feel the feeling of hurt, grief, sorrow, loss, whatever those feelings encompass with that, I have to go through that as a human being and then take the creative process of expressing that to the world. And those that emit that feeling into the world, they capture those people who also have that same feeling. I'm sorry, but AI could never do that. It can never do that. Reason why it can never win. And we've seen this story plenty of times in the movies, from the motherfucking Terminator to I Am Robot to all of these fucking things. It's like Hollywood been telling us, but also at the same time using it. It's crazy. It's like, no, we're gonna tell you that the world is gonna go to shit, but we are the cause of it. I'm gonna just be real. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. I don't think that is any form of useful in the creative space. Now, like you guys say, when it comes to like brainstorming and like, like you said, the AI is used for the algorithm, like different things of that nature, I can understand that. It should always be the advancement. It should never be the reason, if that makes sense. So I'm always against it when it comes to the creative space. And I'm also disappointed in like, legends like Chuck D. Let me see the tweet he had. He basically had pulled up, and somebody
He
had to.
compared the use of AI to the use of essentially
Auto-tune.
auto-tune, vocal filters, and I just feel like that is so dense. And it's like
It's so dense.
for you to be like a legend like that
The
and
D,
say
the
something
D
like
in
that,
Chuck D stands for dense. That's what
right?
it stands for.
Because it's like, how dare you gaslight a whole community of artists and professionals who know, like, you don't even need to be in the studio to know that those are not the same things. Like, you are gaslighting the shit out of us. And for you to be who you are and say something like that is like, wow.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
And it's like, this is why we're having the conversation around AI in the first place, because y'all are saying shit like that and putting that stupid ass shit into the mix and making people think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, no. Why are we conflating these things, y'all?
No,
Please don't.
literally.
Please don't do that.
It's like Gen Alpha already is the generation that's grown up.
Yes.
I want them to grow up not using their brains too. Like this is scary.
Yeah.
They already can't read, y'all. They already and I think too, like when I started seeing people talk about, oh, Chat GPT is my therapist.
Yeah.
I started losing my mind, because I'm like, you're just training the machine to go according to your thought process. You don't have that layer of somebody who can come in and be outside of it and really assess and then give you the right tools to handle whatever it is that you're handling. I think that's the scary. Like, even somebody was like, they created a whole Chat GPT girlfriend. And I said, you motherfuckers are losing your minds. Y'all really are losing it. Like, come on now.
How does that
I feel like a couple months ago, I think somebody committed suicide because of the Chat GPT, the AI girlfriend shit.
I think that's where I'm getting it from. I've seen something like that. It's been real crazy. It's been real crazy. So it's not as beneficial in the ways that we want it to be, because eventually, like, where it's a human at the end of the day that's training AI. I remember somebody saying that we have to remember that AI is just not a bot that just comes up with these things. A human is feeding these things. So regardless, the human is still being needed for the robot's effectiveness, if that makes sense. Chat GPT cannot operate without the human interaction. It just can't. So what the fuck is the point at this point in time? Maybe for the advancement and a little assistance, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, I would use Chat GPT. Like, if I'm going to like the groceries, or if I need like a workout or something, like, hey, I'm going to Trader Joe's, give me a grocery list that's a budget with $100. What are some items that I could get that is like heavy protein, high fiber, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm using it for shit like that. I use Chat GPT as like a Bible assistant too. Like, when I'm reading the word, I'll dissect it. Like, okay, could you further explain? Because guess what? There's some people that already done this work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just giving me a little bit more knowledge and I guess dissecting of certain things, but I'm not using it for my therapist. I'm not using it to actually create. If anything, it's used to further like further advance what I have already started the foundation on, if that makes sense. Because yes, you can use Chat GPT to give you some ideas, like give me 10 content ideas that I could do for TikTok. It's gonna give you that. You know what I'm saying? But you as the actual human being still have to show up and do this process. And also the whole AI situation, which even I'm gonna be real. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can tell when something's kind of AI. Like my eye is not that dead.
Yes.
To, you know what I'm saying? Like people be so like, oh my God, I didn't know this. It's like, girl, how did you not know? They have fucking 10, like they have 11 fingers.
No, yes, you can. And it's to the point too. I'm starting to tell when someone has used Chat GPT. Like
Yes.
they're doing like if I gotta do a presentation or collaborate with somebody, I'm like, did you get this from that
And the
chat?
ironic part is that goes back to what we're saying about you. It's like anti-intellectual, because the intellectual person, if you're going to use it for that, the smart person would still find a way to make it their own. Like they're just using it. Yes,
Right.
like use it to assist, not use it to literally be the thing that you're utilizing and passing off as yours. Like, are y'all stupid?
Exactly.
Yeah, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, actually, to answer my own question.
Actually.
But I mean, it kind of ties back to what we talked about earlier in the conversation, where I think this kind of pours back into the idea that we're stepping into a time where authenticity is going to be currency, because it's going to be so, like, the difference between the AI shit and the anti-intellectual shit versus the people who are showing up authentically and using their brains and using their imagination. Like there's going to be such a stark difference that you're almost going to want to only fuck with that, because you're going to get so sick of seeing the anti-intellectual shit all the time.
Not to mention, AI is very racist, if we're going to be completely honest, because the majority of the shit that I personally seen is Black people being used as caricatures in settings that is like, oh, like the first video that we seen that was going viral was the girl doing the whole mukbang with fried fucking chicken, and she literally swallowed the whole fucking fried chicken. And niggas was like, this is scary. People are gonna believe this. And I am at first I'm thinking like, oh, y'all niggas is really dumb if you really thought that girl fucking well devoured that hot ass chicken and the bone in one setting and didn't even chew. But hey, what do I know? But there's people that don't have that intelligence to know the difference and will literally sit up there, see that shit and believe that shit and be like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So even in that regard, I remember they had a conversation about digital blackface. And that's another thing, a problem that we're also going to face with AI, is because people were already coming on social media acting as their favorite artists, you know what I'm saying? Or even just black, like digital blackface, being like a Black woman or a Black man and spewing the most negativity and all this extra shit that be going on the internet and shit like that. And that's what we're going to also see a lot more of. Like the racism is just going to be on some like times 10. Like somebody said, we're going to hear slurs that we've never even thought could even be thought of, because AI is literally going to open up the doors for just more. I feel division the way how it's, but like I said, it's the person that's using it. It's the people that's using it for the division. So
yes. And I'm so happy you just said that too, because you just took me back to the classroom. Like everything that we're seeing, like there has been research on this for the past like 10, 20 years. Like even myself, like when I was at grad school for NYU, focusing on like hip hop culture, digital humanities, we were literally talking about what Black digital, um, what like digital blackface would look like in our class. Shout out to Deb Willis and Tyler Mitchell. She hosts a class called The Black Body and Images at NYU, where she is really diving into a lot of these topics, but more on like Web3. And I think it's interesting too, because you are starting to see a lot more Gen Z Black intellectuals take this into the classroom. Like there's a young woman by the name of Faith Williams. Shout out to you, Faith, if you're listening, who is right now studying I think she's at the University of Texas or something like that, but she is focusing on Black micro influencers and us creating content. But the argument is we should be able to own and have sovereignty over our intellectual property instead of letting it come into the cycle of like Black production and it becomes very appropriated, everything we do. She's even gotten like her degree around like selfies and what that means. Like, what does selfies mean to like American culture? Um, and I think it's a very interesting topic because I feel like even at universities, the topic around like racism and stereotypes and all these different things that we're even seeing within our administration, like taking away, resources that are for the advancement of like Black culture, art, interest, and all that type of stuff. Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where we're at in 20 years with this because it seems to shift and evolve like every 10, 20. Like 10, 20 years ago, we were literally discussing what would this look like, and it's literally happening. So now I'm even curious too, like, are we actually going to get the robots in 10, 20 years? Like, I mean, I know we kind of have them
Yeah,
now.
we kind of have them already.
Kind of do.
like what is next? Because it's getting real spooky. Getting real spooky for me.
Mm-hmm. Spooky. But listen, we ain't never gonna let AI compromise the creatives. It's gonna be AI versus the creatives, which is now, I think, a good piece of merch. AI versus the creatives. Nah, because this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And we can't first of all, none of y'all steal that idea. This is reasonable dialogue merch. But yeah, it's gonna be something. But I do always believe there's renaissance for a reason. There's pushback. There's a surge of people who are going to define those lines and definitely be on the other side of it. And that's what I love about revolution and things of that nature. So I'm excited because when you see something negative, just always expect the positive to follow. It's just the ebbs and flows of life. So right now is a negative space with the government, negative space with all this shit that's happening. There's only up from here now. So I'm excited to see what is going to turn out and the real creatives that are going to push the lines outside of that.
Well, I guess speaking about creatives, this is not a better time to move into our favorite segment of the night.
What?
The set list.
Yes, the set list, y'all. Shout out to our good sister Kia. She definitely came up with this amazing idea for the set list where we give our personal little trinkets that we have been diving into for the past, I guess, week or whatever. Books, music, film, TV, all of those good things that we personally have been definitely dibbling and dabbling in. And I'm gonna go last because I gotta get my set list together. So, what do y'all go first? What's on y'all set list for this week?
I don't want to go first. So I was scrolling the timeline and I saw that SOBs is launching. I want to say it's a series. I might be wrong, but they're doing a show called Jazz for Lovers, where from 6 to 10 they're doing jazz covers of really popular R&B songs. So it's just a jazz show all night. So that'll be on July 3rd is the first one. So I'll be going there. There's a few tickets left. So make sure if y'all are interested in that, definitely go grab that. If you see me there, say what's up. On the music side, have to shout out K1. I don't know if one of y'all was going to use her on your set list, but
I definitely was.
I was thinking we doing three-peat.
I've been tweeting about that album all EP, excuse me, all week. It's just so good, and her tone is so rich. And I don't know, like I feel like there's this like something in the water with the UK artists because I haven't heard a bad one yet. And honestly, I'm just like really excited to see where her career goes because I feel like she's definitely, and I'm seeing a lot of like masculine presenting women also say this on Twitter. Like shout out to Alicia, she said it also. But I think we're in an interesting time now where the LGBTQ community is being very received in music right now. And I think she is going to lead the way for the masculine presenting women. And I don't think there's a better person that can do it because the music is fucking fire and she looks good. Like if I was gay, I would definitely be on her heels. But yeah, that's besides the point. Something about her, like something about that girl. Yeah, she definitely does it for me.
I can't.
But there's another song, Divine Light Body. She was featured on I want to say, yeah, I can't remember who project was. I can't remember who project was. If I remember, I'll put it on Twitter. But I heard her on somebody else's project. She had a really beautiful tone. Oh, Xavier Omar. She was on Xavier Omar's recent album, and her tone was like gorgeous. She hasn't really released too much music, so I wasn't really familiar with her game. But she just put out a single on Friday called Oxygen, and it's definitely something that's in my rotation. Fabo put out a new single. Everybody knows I'm a diehard Fabo fan, but he just put out a new single called BMF. He
Shout out to
is
Fabo.
facts. Amazing artist. Not too many like him in my opinion. A credible pen. And I think he's beginning to roll out some new music. I don't want to say too much because I don't know what he's announced yet, but definitely be on the lookout for music for Fabo. He's back. Also, Destin Conrad, not a new song. Well, it's kind of new, but I've really been listening to I think it's called Kissing Outside. No. What is that song called?
I saw you tweet it too. Kissing shit. Kissing cousins. No.
Wait. Because I want to say
Kissing in public.
Kissing in public. I was going to say kissing outside. Kissing in public is so good. Like, I don't know. When I first heard it, it reminded me of Justin Timberlake's era. Like his very R&B early Justin Timberlake. I just think it's such a great song, and I think it is definitely Song of the Summer worthy. I don't know if it's gonna get that kind of push, but it should. So if you haven't heard that yet, definitely listen to Destin Conrad's Kissing in Public, as well as just the whole project. The album is phenomenal. Love on Digital. And then the last one I'll say is actually, you can go ahead, Jazz. That's my set list for the week.
Okay. Well, yes, let's get into it. So I am going to start off with my Black Music Month pick. I have really been like into a lot of like fun Janae songs recently, or if not fun, like soothing. The Summer 2020 record, Summer 2020 interlude. I don't know, I've been listening to that a lot. That's the one that samples um that old school jam that we all love. Sorry, it's blanking on me right now, but yeah, I've really been listening to that a lot. So shout out to Janae and her sultriness. And I'm so happy my good sis Yan got her name right for me, because I too have joined the K1 train. I love this body of work. Like, I'm actually really obsessed. And if you have the album on there, I think I'm gonna just go with, damn, I don't even just want to do a single, because then I'll be like, that one. I like that song too. Like, it's really like no skips, but my faves right now are that Talk You Through It is insane. Like,
listen,
that record
first of all, I didn't know they was coming like that. Like, okay, slow, like,
yeah, that record is insane. And the record before it too, the interlude. That interlude is, oh my God. So those two have been standing out for me right now. Back in the Club is great, but that interlude going into Talk You Through It, chef's kiss. Go ahead, K1. You got that, girl. And I'm so happy, because before I was calling you Quinn. Please do not tell me. This is why I love Yan. She's our resident, chief R&B girl. I had to consult with my sis. I was like, I know I'm pronouncing something wrong, but that's that. We also got our upcoming 4th of July weekend coming up, and I think I might be at Reggae Fest. Reggae Fest is happening with Bounty Killer and Masika. I know we were talking about him earlier. Yes, at Barclay.
Where they will be appreciated.
Okay. Say that, okay? Because
I know it.
No, for real, because when that record Whites go, what? That song is insane. Like, the vibe in the room, it's like everybody in the room literally like gets they like motion together. Like, okay, what wine am I about to hit? Like, because the record is about to stop. So shout out to Reggae Fest happening. That is July 5th. Yes, Barclays Center. If you're in New York, tap that out. Also happening. More Vibes Please is happening. So you might see me there. I know y'all been seeing me there a lot. Yes, I like to dance. I like to vibe. If you want to catch a vibe, come out. That's going to be on the 5th. So yeah, that's my weekend. That's my set list for this week. Oh no, I'm forgetting one more thing. Sorry, the Clips So Be It record. I know I had clips on there last time. I got to do it again. That visual had me stuck to my seat, like glued to my seat. I have never rushed to put a song. It made me feel like LimeWire days. Shout out to their rope. Because the way I turned that song, and oh, wait, I don't know if I can say that. I'm sorry, but I turned it into an MP3. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I love the record so much. So I had to find a way that I can listen to it on the train and stuff. So shout out to the Clips band and giving us an amazing rollout. And yeah, I'm gonna pass it to my sis. That's my set list for this week.
No, really quickly, I know we were supposed to touch on it a little earlier, but the Clips and their rollout and what they're doing, they're also very much so bringing, I don't even want to say bringing back because they always been like that type, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, it's good to see legacy acts still abide by the formula that got them there. Like, you're doing press runs, you're being seen, you're doing the colors. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't drop music and just forget about it. Like, I love that they're still upholding that. So shout out to the Clips for keeping real Coke rap alive. Moving on to my set list. I'm gonna have to be in agreement with everyone this week, okay? And my set list will definitely be K1. I too thought she was a part of the crew of the Six Lax with her name, but shout out to Yon for letting us know it's actually K1. All right, and she won. She won with this project here because, with all due respect, I do respect this project. Okay. And that's literally the title of her project, all with all due respect, which I love I love the title because it's like you came out with on some like, with all due respect, I'm about to fuck y'all up. Like, y'all about to
Yes.
really I'm really about to show you. And she's also been I believe she has some shows coming on. I don't know if she's in the US yet, but I know she's a UK girly. But I do know that she has sold out shows are already, and I would love to see one of her shows. Hint, hint. I think that should be a little group trip we should do. Go see her. But anyways, definitely been feeling it. Favorite tracks off of that have been Talk You Through It featuring Flo, of course, All the Girls, Back of the Club. Listen, I'm playing that during my
That
next
shit
R&B
is so
party.
good. Oh my God.
Got to play that. And Stand on It were my my personal favorite standout records. Of course, you know, have to mention my girl, what's her name again? My little white girl, Zara. How you say her name? Zara Larson. Okay. This is for my pop girlie. She definitely came out with a brand new single called Midnight Sun. Vocals, video is super cute. She got the dance moves. She's really the pop girly that y'all be talking about. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Really do love it. I dipped into some old Summer Walker, re-listening one of my favorite Summer Walker songs, Session 32. Okay, so I've been listening to some older Summer Walker, anticipating the new album that she's supposedly supposed to be dropping pretty soon. Also, Rakaya, an artist that I personally have the pleasure of knowing. Shout out to her and my good attorney and friend, Janae Steele. She manages her as well. So giving her a shout out. She had a new release called Mathematics. Rakaya is someone who's super dope. I love the tone of her voice. She's also, she studies space science, I believe, but also decided to chase her career in music. She also is a she speaks and sings in Japanese too, which is super dope. So she has like a following at the, you know, with the Japanese culture. But she dropped a new song called Mathematics. She definitely self-produces, self-writes, does all of the things. She has a futuristic aesthetic that I really do love, and it's very, you know, unique in my personal opinion. So shout out to her for dropping that brand new single. Also, what's I've been listening to some affirmations. I found this really dope playlist on Spotify called Confidence Affirmations. If anybody want to check it out. The affirmations are literally no more than like 2-3 minutes. They have all types of affirmations. I'm talking about unlimited powerful affirmations, on authentic self affirmations, money affirmations. Like, it's good to really hear good positive things, good self, you know, reaffirming words, music and words itself are what they quote unquote call spells. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important for us to, in fact, speak positivity, but as well listen to positivity. So I definitely been listening to a lot of positive affirmation, and also inspired me to very much so do my own affirmations. I definitely want to put out like my own intentional affirmation project, infusing music and just, my vocals and just speaking positivity over the track. Some way, somehow we're gonna make it happen. So I'm gonna come out with my own affirmation album as well too. But other than that, of course, I'm still reading my book, The Artist's Way. I'm literally starting that journey again. I know I said it before, but life had been lifing and I kind of fell back from it, but I'm definitely on it now more so than ever. So I'm reading The Artist's Way. I am also gonna mention the Glastonbury Festival as things that, you know what I'm saying, on the set list, because we gave y'all a whole hip hop lesson. So I'm gonna add that to the set list as well. Hopefully when it does come out on YouTube, you guys could check it out. But I would literally suggest you guys go check out the clips that's circulating on the internet. We really did our big one when it comes to that. Also, Kalani's Folded. I'm gonna have to add that as the new music that that I listen to. Definitely love that record. I know people were trying to compare it to Mariah the Scientist, Burning Blue, because they have the violins, but it's just to say that the violins is such a superior instrument. Strings in your music, especially in R&B. Yes, you guys need to get back to that. Thank you very much. Also, the clips, I'm gonna have to add that as well to my personal music. And yeah, that's all I got for this personal set list, to be honest with you. I was gonna say, as far as watching film or TV, I was gonna mention the Nelly and Ashanti TV series, but unfortunately, I think
Dang.
I'm not gonna watch it because I don't like to see men not help women who just had babies. It really turns me off, especially in this new, you know what I'm saying, this new light of, I don't want to even call it feminism, but just womanhood in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, men just don't be wanting to do shit at all except be a provider, which is just giving the money. And I think fatherhood is more than money. It's actually showing up and spending time and being intentional. And of course, I don't want to judge based off that one clip, but I was gonna watch it, but that definitely did it for me not to watch it. So it was not on my set list no more. But that's all I got for y'all. That's all I got.
I love that. I too came into it wanting to be like, oh, I can't wait to add it to my set list. Then saw some of the episodes. It was like, I think I actually, well, not. I do want to add one more thing. I have been reading this book called 7 Days in June, by Tia Williams. So I do want to add that to the set list. It's kind of like a fun, unique romance novel by a Black woman. Something different. Never really tapped into that before, but it's cool. I like it. But
I love that. We
uh,
got so many clubs. We got a music club. You got to check out the Reasonable Dialogue community on Twitter. If you're not already a part of that community, definitely tap in with it. Yan also has her own music community that is very big and super dope. I love dropping gems in there as well. So, you guys could definitely stay up to date with us with all of the things that we got going on with our set list. I do think we have to implement some community activations. We got to bring the condo to the real condo real soon. I think we should do something before the summer is over. I think we should have like a Reasonable Dialogue little mixer. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure it out. I'm already give y'all the month of August because I definitely have time in August. So let's figure out how we could definitely, you know what I'm saying, do a little 1-2 step like Sierra and bring our communities together in real life. And definitely I want to hit some concerts and some shows with y'all too, because I think that will really bring a little bit more of intentional group bonding, sisterhood bonding, as well as us doing our jobs, being outside in these streets and, really seeing what these concerts are about. That's one of the things that I wanted to like definitely do with y'all, is like go to like these shows and concerts and shit like that. So that's my set list though, y'all. We got any closing remarks before we be
oh
off?
my God. We're literally at the mark. That's so crazy. Was that the first time we like collectively all had like some synergy on our set list? Like, is this the first time? This set list about to be hard. Like,
OD.
K1 times 3.
no, literally, that's hard. That's so hard. Like, we fans, girl. Like, oh my
But I guess the only thing I would say just to leave y'all with is I do feel like one of the best ways to rebel against all the anti-intellectual shit is literally to be intellectual. Support creatives, be creatives, keep creating
hard.
shit and putting it into the world. And I just really hope that what's happening in the space does not discourage you, because there's a shit ton of people who are against it in the same way that we are and you are. Because I'm sure if you're listening to us, you're against AI. But yeah, man, just stay true to you. And I wouldn't even give that shit too much attention and energy, because I just feel like the real is going to rise to the top. And that's all that matters. Fuck AI.
And it is, because we see it. We see it in real
Right.
time. The real is rising to the top, okay? They rising like Drake abs right now, all right? That being said,
You know what?
we thank you guys for supporting us. This is episode 7 of the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. Once again, shout out to our good sis Kia, who couldn't make it for this episode, but we are sending you so much love, my girl. We will definitely catch up with our good sis the next go round. But so far, that's our time, y'all. I go by the name of DJ Miss Milan.
I'm Jan Smith.
And it's your girl Jazz.
Y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all gotta get the fuck out of here.
See ya. I got tacos to eat.
And in honor of Kia, crispy chicken. Later, y'all.
Yo, what up? It's Jason Kia.
It's DJ Miss Milan.
And it's Jan Smith.
We want to thank you for tuning into the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. For more updates and to follow us on social media, be sure to go to our website, reasonableddialogue.com.
Pussy.
Thanks.